flammable yo-yos, choking Pokeballs, and killer dive sticks. These are 15 weirdest kids' toys ever. Part 3. Number 15, acne pad. If you're a teenager, getting pimples can be the worst. You just woke up one morning and there's one staring you down in the mirror, right in the middle of your forehead. And you probably have to give a speech, so you decide to do the worst possible thing and pop it. Now you have some slimy stuff on your hands and an angry red splotch. Sucks, right? Well, looks like someone thought that all that pimple ooze was a good idea for a toy. This acne simulator makes you press on it and have something that looks like pus coming out of it. Ugh. Lucky for kids, this isn't a real pimple ooze. It's some natural stuff like beeswax mixed up together. It could still be dangerous, so make sure no kid puts that in their mouth, okay? Number 14, plush vampires. Plush toys are usually cute and cuddly toys. They look like perfectly fine animals that you can find at the zoo. Hippos, tigers, elephants, you name it. There's a plush doll for it. What nobody expected to get was a plush doll for Count Dracula. Okay, so this isn't Dracula, but a vampire plush doll is creepy, no matter how you look at it. It looks like a regular stuffed animal, maybe a bear, but for its teeth. Take a look at those incisors. You really don't want that thing anywhere near your neck. I guess parents wouldn't want their kids having those around. The nightmares could even make an adult scream. Number 13, toy uterus. It's never too early to learn about your body. You should know how everything works, and what better way to teach that than videos, pictures, books, and even charts. Oh wait, there's one more way. Make body parts into a toy. What body parts would you want to see as a toy? That's the type of thinking that brought us here. Looking at a toy uterus. This stuffed creature looks like the part of a woman where the baby stays until it's ready to be born. It's perfect as an instructional tool, but as a toy? I think it's going overboard. Turns out the first versions of this had several small pieces that a child could choke on. Nobody wants a kid to die by the thing that once kept them alive. Number 12, meow piano. Music can make you feel so much, and that's what makes it so perfect. What's your favorite genre? Seeing one genre can make you feel sad, and another can make you feel so in love. What happens when music makes you very annoyed? You just have to make it stop then. This next toy really shouldn't even exist. Who wants a piano that sounds like a cat's screechy noises? As if those sounds aren't upsetting enough in real life, somebody put them in a piano for kids. Imagine having a kid banging on those keys early in the morning. I'd break that thing in the first week. I'm sure cat lovers would love this, but I bet their cats won't. Maybe they'll get jealous, break it, and then get injured on the pieces. Would you still want this for yourself? Number 11, lollipop tongue. If you love Star Wars, then you'll probably love Star Wars toys. There's so many of them. Ever had one? There are lightsabers and Princess Leia dolls, and of course the Jedi costumes. I've always wanted one of those. What you probably didn't know is that there are really weird toys too. Do you recognize this character? Well, you won't probably expect that this thing has a tongue that's a lollipop. Yep, you're supposed to hold it by the handle and lick its tongue. That seems really weird to me. I guess when the lollipop is finished, you get to use the rest of it as a toy. What do you think about this one? If you think these toys are weird, now we're going to take a look at transparent mascots, toy murder, and a stuffed mutant. Number 10, Ronald McDonald. Kids love Ronald McDonald. Do you know who he is? If you guess that he's from McDonald's, you're absolutely right. This clown is the official mascot of the most famous fast food brand. Did you ever go to a McDonald's just to see Ronald? I certainly did. Well, this toy does no justice to Ronald. The toy's fatter than the original clown. Maybe it's too many burgers. Speaking of burgers, the toy's also transparent, and you can see some burgers still in his stomach. Nobody wants to imagine Ronald McDonald's food digesting. Do you? Number 9, murdered toys. There's some things nobody wants to see. A cute baby crying, an empty ice cream machine, and dolls getting killed are some things I even try to avoid. Usually, the third thing never happens, so you avoid it, but one company made that almost impossible. These toys show just how some toys can die. Just looking at it gives me goosebumps. That's so gruesome. There's a doll with a pair of scissors sticking out of her. Then there's a bear with a saw at its bloody neck. Come on! Why do people like horror so much? They could really damage a child's mind a lot. Do you agree? Number 8, mutant bear. Ever seen a bear in real life? I hope you haven't. Real life encounters with bears hardly end well. Okay, but maybe you've seen them in pictures and videos, right? Can you remember how they look? 2 eyes, a regular mouth, 4 paws, and thick fur. It seems the designers of this toy didn't get the memo to take the toy as realistic as possible. This bear looks like it was exposed to a nuclear war and came out with a lot of mutated genes. Pretty sure that's why it has 5 eyes. No other species like that really exist. Plus that mouth. Talk about scary, you know. Number 7, detachable zombie dolls. Not a lot of kids come to the world understanding what zombies are. No kid is born with that knowledge. So zombie toys can be pretty harmless. They'll make you wonder what's wrong with this toy. The weird part of this zombie doll is that it's made so you can tear off its body parts. Sometimes you accidentally tear off a doll's head, but it's creepy when that's the original design. You can yank the zombie head off of its body at the snap of a finger. I'm sure some people will find that more cool than creepy. What do you think? Let's just say this toy is also a choking hazard. All the detached parts around a small child or dog, a trip to the ER just might be needed. Number 6, doll pencil sharpener. Summer's probably your favorite part of the year for one simple reason. There's no school. You get to have all the fun you want with your friends. That's great, but you have to admit shopping for school supplies can also be pretty fun, right? New books, pencils, and sharpeners can feel great, but you gotta be careful with what you get. This sharpener's probably not the best choice for any kid. It might not be a toy, but it's something for kids. A scary-looking doll head that spits your pencil shavings out of its mouth might just be a terrible design decision. This sharpener's face looks like it was a demented little girl, and I'll be glad to leave it in the store if I find it. Number 5, inflatable baby boots. Floaties or floaters are the best things for small children learning to swim. Nobody wants to drown, so something needs to keep you safe, and that's great. Even babies aren't left out. They have boats, but even those are a little dangerous. For one, the babies' boats have a leg paddle that most babies can't even use. Their tiny legs can't give the pressure they need, so they could get stuck. Another major horror that could happen is a tear. Yikes, that's potentially life-threatening. Do you think your baby brother or sister will be safe in this? Hopefully you won't leave them to a watery grave. Number 4, Pokeballs. Pokemon era was an epic time. Kids wanted all kinds of Pokemon toys, so the companies kept making all sorts of toys to meet up. They made some good ones, and this Pokeball was one of them. So why did it make it to the list? Well, this toy could kill a kid, and that's as weird as it gets. The tiny pieces that are part of it can get lodged in a child's throat. What would you do if your friend was choking on this? It's best if you don't find out. Starting out, things get serious. It's now time to look at a flammable yo-yo with spikes, dive sticks, and finally a radioactive toy. Number 3, yo-yo water ball. Have you ever played with a yo-yo? There are so many types of them, and it's really impressive when you learn how to use them. People even got into competitions with yo-yos and won some money. I'm pretty sure no one uses a water ball yo-yo though. The water ball looks like a rubber sea urchin with spikes all over. It looks pretty fun to play with, but there are so many things that could go wrong. Turns out that these yo-yos are very flammable. You really want to keep them far enough from an open flame. Burns are nasty, and you should be careful of them. Number 2, dive sticks. Going swimming is great if you can actually swim. If you can dive, it's even double fun for you, right? You can go under the water and play games with your family. Dive sticks are the perfect toy for you if you want to do that. You're supposed to throw the sticks in and dive in after them. Your goal is to get them all before they get to the bottom of the pool. That sounds fun, huh? So what could go wrong? The problem came when some kids started to impale themselves on the sticks. That's right, they kind of got stabbed. Some even got injured in the eye. Weird that anyone would make dangerous stuff, right? Now the moment you've all been waiting for. Number 1, Atomic Energy Lab. Children have interests in science from a very young age, so giving them science toys is usually a great idea. With this toy, you'll almost think the maker wants to kill kids. The Atomic Energy Lab is great for any science nerd, but there's just one problem. There are deadly substances in it. I know people die for science, but putting uranium in a kid's toy is overkill. Trust me on this one, it's just too weird. No parent would want that for their kids. Like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon.